Alright, so just want to show you guys again what we're doing. So I use the machine sanders to just knock down the high spots on all of them. Really just get them all nice and smooth, to relatively speaking. You can see the grain starts to come through after you sand it. Really nice. Now, and then I start to hit them with 220 grit hand sanding. Sorry, there's a motorcycle outside. Got the garage door open today. Hit them with the 220, and I knock down. Here's this one that hasn't been hit by the 220. So you see the edges here. Get all those edges. So I knock down those edges and get it nice and rounded as I'm going. You can still see kind of some edges there, but I usually get it nice and round. So most of the time when I'm carving something, I like that it looks like it's been carved. I usually don't sand my carvings down. I want my hand carved items to look hand carved. This mushroom, for example, which broke and then I glued it just as a practice thing and I was messing around with it. I really like this carved look. It was just a little something I was messing around with, and did this in like 5 minutes. Wasn't anything serious, but so most of the time I really like my carvings to look hand carved. These, however, are specifically to be smooth and to be gentle and to invite a calm feeling about them. I don't want something that's rough and jagged like these ridges here. That's rough and jagged ridges, and this is something that, you know, like I said, I was just messing around with, but if you're doing something that sits on a shelf, cool. It can be rough and stuff. But for something that goes in the hand, you want it to be smooth. You want it to feel smooth and invite something that's enjoyable to touch with your hands, because that's what it's made for. So, just want to show you guys that, and we'll get back to it after I finish all of these with the 220. We'll come back and we're going to hit them with the 400. The 400 usually gets them to the point, kind of shininess, or not shininess, but just really nice and smooth. And then we clean them up with a nice like microfiber cloth to get all the sanding dust out of the cracks and whatnot. And then we'll hit them with the mineral oil, and we'll be good. Okay, so finish the 220 on all of them, and then I hit all of the grooves with the gouge again. I wanted to make sure that, because when I was sanding the surface of some of them, it really got down deep to get them really smooth. So I had to re-hit them with the gouge. So just a little update there, and then we'll come back with after the 400 grit and check how they're looking. There they are. Okay, so we're done with the sanding, done with the touching up of what we're doing with the groove. Now we're ready to oil them up. So I've got this little pink bin here. It's one of the little spare bins that my wife's got. Use my brush here to get the sanding dust, wood dust out of the cracks and whatnot. Some of them have some deeper cracks there that you need to get that out of there. So, but this works really well to get that sanding dust out of there, and then we're ready to oil. So I got it in this bin so that we can retain any spilling of any oil, extra oil that we spill out. But we will be doing this together so that you guys can see how awesome it looks right when you put it on, because it just looks cool. So, sorry if the fan was on the microphone there for a second, but I moved it. So let's pick one that has a really cool grain for you guys to see. This one here's got a wild grain. So this is what they look like without the oil. And you can already see I got a spot on there. So we will, let me wipe the camera off real quick, just real quick. Get all the dust off. There you guys go. Okay. Let's put some oil on it and reveal our cool grain. Now I like to do this barehanded. No gloves or anything, because you know it's mineral oil, it's food safe anyways. But so that I can really feel and make sure that it's getting all the way in those crevices and cracks and whatnot. And there you go. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I will load these up each, and then I'll cut back. But then I usually put them in a bag, or I'll leave them in the tray for at least a night to let them really soak in all that oil, because this is dry wood, and it'll really soak it in, and it'll just keep that color and that shine really nicely. And that's what that 400 grit really gets the shine of the wood to pop. But I love to just do a nice excess oil, and then I let them sit for a nice long time, so that you get real deep color from that wood grain. So we'll cut back when we're all done. Okay, so we've got them all oiled now. As you can see, gorgeous wood grain in all of these, absolutely gorgeous, and they're all absolutely unique. Now there's some that matched up really well together, but I can't find which ones matched up very well anymore, because they've been carved down, sand down, and shaped differently, and each uniquely shaped. There's that little lead piece that we left in there. This one will probably be mine. I'm not just gonna give a little piece of wood with lead in it. It's got quite some deep cracks in this one, but gorgeous wood grain in that. So as you can see, beautiful, beautiful pieces of wood. You can see that one's got a pretty big crack, so we'll just keep that one. Also, probably won't give that one away. But most of the ones with the little cracks in them, these little cracks don't go all the way through. They're just splits that the wood experiences. Because olive wood tends to split really easily. So, at least in my experience with it. But I love the, I can't remember what the effect is, but this, when there's ripples in the wood grain, and it looks almost like it's a watery effect in the wood grain. But these are just, well, exactly what I knew they would look like, but they just, every time I oil olive wood up, it just is the most incredible thing to watch. So, there's the crosses, all oiled up. We'll put them in the bag, and then we'll probably sit down and have a short conversation. Here they all are in that bag that I was talking about. And I usually, when I toss them in the bag, or toss anything, so I had this spare piece of olive wood that I had carved into just a little pendant, but the grain didn't really have anything special on this piece, so I just carved it into something cute and put it on like a keychain or something. But I had put this in the bag, but this is the bag that I usually soak, and I put excess oil in there as they're sitting overnight, so that they can just really absorb as much as they can for as long as I let them, and then I'll leave them in here because obviously my hands are a mess. But and this was a small slingshot that I was oiling up, and this is black walnut, and I had carved this out a week ago or so, and I put it in this bag to oil up, and I wanted to really absorb as much oil because I don't want this to crack as it's drying, so I'll have it oiled before I continue working it. But you can see that's the shape of it, and the rubber bands will come out over the top, or the elastic will come over the top. But Just something I was trying to do. So here they are in the bag. They'll sit here probably, like I said, 24 to 48 hours at least to give them enough time to really soak in as much oil. And I'll probably flip them over because the oil will drip through. As you can see, it drips through, and we'll flip them over probably once or twice as I walk through the garage running errands and stuff. And we will keep checking them to make sure that they're doing well and that they don't need extra oil. Sometimes you put a couple of pieces of wood in there with oil and you'll need extra oil to finish them because they are just such dry pieces of wood, and you want that oil to really penetrate to protect, but also to make them nice and coated, yeah, so that you get that color. And then we'll wipe off the excess with a paper towel the next day. Alright, we'll cut back to sitting down, probably having a good conversation, and we'll see what else we want to carve. Okay, get back in the chair here. Back to where we are comfortable with. Got a new phone. I'll do another video showing the phones that I got and the different stuff that I use, just in case anybody was interested. Trying this new one out. This got a QWERTY keyboard on it. I enjoy the QWERTY keyboard, but we're playing Chris Luno's Beach House Mix. So I'll link that down in the description. Love Chris Luno's music. Mixes. He's got a lot of great music that he puts together. It's just really enjoyable stuff to listen to and sit and talk. So I was thinking, now that we got this project done, that we can get another project going. Get my cigar here. Just smoking a little Cubanito here. Or a cigarillo, as some people call them. But they're basically just like a little mini cigar. Some people use them for other things. Nothing against that. I just enjoy a little bit of tobacco. So, but it's a nice warm Sunday afternoon in October. Almost the end of October. And today in Southern California, it was a high of 80, I think, where we were. 79 degrees, something like that. But ridiculous. So I was thinking, now that our project with the crosses is done, is complete. They're soaking in their bag and just relaxing, in their little oily spa until they're ready to be given away. I was thinking about the next project that we have here. Now this piece of olive wood is not from the Holy Land, obviously. I already talked about that. I think it's from Tunisia. So I was looking at the dimensions here. I got a bigger ruler somewhere, but so it's 6, 7, 8 and a half at its thickest this way, and I would say it's probably 14, 16 inches here. 12 at the center, plus the little tapered part right here, which we'll have to cut down. And I'm not going to count the edge where they kept some of the live edge. Obviously we got knots to work around here from the center, but look at that. That's what I was talking about earlier with that watery effect that the wood gets. It's just the coolest effect, and when this is all sanded and oiled, it looks gorgeous. Obviously you guys saw it on that one cross. So I was looking at the dimensions of this, and I was looking and seeing maybe we could get this cut down, because this is 1 inch thick all the way across, except for this weird taper at the end here. 1 inch thick all the way across. Now it has a slight bend to it, so we can't do anything flat unless we're cutting it smaller. But I was thinking, because we got a, well, it's, you know, not exactly 1 inch thick, a little bit thinner. I was thinking about doing a chess set out of this, all the chess pieces out of this, and I have not hand carved a chess set yet, and that's something that I've always wanted to do. But it's really easy to, you know, do simple. I've practiced on a couple of pieces of wood with you know, just some soft basswood to practice to see if I even enjoy carving chess set pieces, because you know they take a lot of skill, I would say. But so we got 12 inches across, which means that we could have 1 inch pieces, 1 inch or about 1 inch by 1 inch pieces, and then we could do 2 inches tall maybe if we measure it out. But so I'll do some brainstorming. You guys comment down below if you really like the idea of doing a chess set, and if you want to if you would like to follow along or just experience it with me. And obviously we'll get all of these cut out. I'll show you guys the cutting process. I usually do bigger wood like this. I'll just cut by hand with my hand saw, because I don't have any big saws at the moment, big hardware at the moment to process wood. Just because of the location we are in life, you know, I don't have the luxury of having a lot of big pieces of equipment. So the biggest piece of equipment I have is that scroll saw over there, which wouldn't have an issue if I put the bigger blade on here, cutting through this. But I think that I would enjoy hand cutting this. Olive wood is not hard to cut with a saw that's sharp, and it's kind of an enjoyable thing to shape up. So with that being said, I'll take a little bit of a break. Hands are feeling kind of rough from all that work. We'll take a break for the next couple of days. Take care of the baby and live our lives the way that we are right now. Kind of just on the baby's schedule, which isn't bad. You know, it's kind of fun. You know, sleep, feed, change, repeat, kind of the same thing. So, also working on a couple of walking sticks, just some small things. Got a couple of pieces of that black walnut that I had collected from a branch that fell during the big hurricane this last year in Southern California. That was silly. Just a big rainstorm, really, but we had some gusts of wind that took down a couple of branches across the neighborhood, so I gathered a couple of pieces of black walnut, and I enjoy carving that. It's hardwood to carve, but it's enjoyable to mess around with. I do have this piece here that I was carving a funky little mushroom out of, just kind of testing it out and trying to see how I like the carving of this wood here. It's fun to just mess around with wood like this, and you know, have little silly carvings all around the house, because you know, it keeps you inspired, keeps your hands busy and your mind busy. Don't want to just sit idle too long, but yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the carving process of the crosses, the kind of the follow along videos that I did, the talking, the conversations. Tell me how you guys took that, if you enjoyed it or not. If there's a subject that you would like me to talk about, my opinions about, whatnot. I'm not in any way advanced education or anything like that to have a philosophical viewpoint on every single aspect of life, but I do enjoy having educated conversations and sharing my opinion where it is appreciated. I'm not full of myself when it comes to sharing my opinion. I make sure that I don't overshare my opinion, and when I do, I deeply regret it. So, if you're a friend here watching and you have experienced me sharing too much of my opinion, I apologize, because I have over the last few years really grown to understand and appreciate the power of withholding your opinion, and really just allowing others who want to share their opinions have a platform and an area and a location to do that, and a safe place to share opinions and not feel judged by it. And I think as an individual, as the individual I am, it's my responsibility to not judge and to listen to others' opinions and really appreciate their point of view on life. I'm by no means old in any way, but I have experienced a lot in life, and I can sit back and really appreciate someone else's opinion and give them constructive feedback. Not constructive, but I can give them feedback that will allow them to really feel listened to. Because I listen to individuals when they talk to me to understand their life, their point of view, their mindset. I think that's a responsibility of that we all have, is to listen to understand, not listen to respond. When we have conversations with individuals, it is important that we allow others around us to speak their minds. Because if we never allow someone around us to speak our minds, why would they want to stay around? Why would they want to stick around? Now, if you're someone who just doesn't want to have people around you, go ahead, cut them off at every corner, and they're just going to be like, okay, well, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. I, on the other hand, through the last couple of years, I will say that I'm not going to act dumb here and say that the last couple of years didn't happen, where I had a lot of quite a aggressive maturing and growing up phase in my life. Oh, by the way, this is coconut water with pineapple. C2O. Pretty enjoyable when it's hot out. Anyways, I'm not going to act dumb, and I'm not going to ignore the last couple of years that I had a really rough time, where I was pretty rough, and I was not nice to my friends, and I had a lot of issues myself, and I have been fixing those issues over the last couple of years, and now the place where I am at is a steady place, mentally and emotionally, and within my marriage we're quite happy and steady right now, and it's just taken quite a long time for me to really mature, because I wanted to do things Jacob's way for too long, and that caused issues, not only in my marriage but just professionally and individually. I've struggled a lot. So now, as we come to an end in our time in the Marine Corps, we get to sit down and really reflect on our past, correct some mistakes that haven't been corrected, apologize for things that need to be apologized for, and really forgive those who need to be forgiven, and to be forgiven ourselves if there is room for that forgiveness in the individual's heart. And I pray for every individual that I have come in contact with, that they have it in their heart to forgive me for the wrongs that I have done against them. And I truly, truly mean this, that I hope that anybody in my past that I had an issue with, or that had an issue with me in any way, whether it was emotional, physical, or spiritual, that we can come together and forgive each other and love each other, as friends and family, as spiritual brothers and sisters, and that we can truly forgive each other and love each other unconditionally. So, again, thank you for stopping by, watching the YouTube videos. I do have a little bit of a list here of some ideas that I got. wanna go over that. So I had written down just a couple of ideas, carving pendants out of the leftover wood that we have from that board. Once we cut out what we need for a full chest set, and then I wanted to make a video kind of just going over my finishing techniques for different types of woods, specifically olive wood, because that's what I've been doing recently, and I enjoy doing that. Finishing techniques such as the sanding process and the way that I sand for olive wood to get that perfect grain pattern to pop out. And then I wrote down here for a phone review for my flip phone, and then I also wrote down a phone review for my new phone. This is the Unihertz Titan Pocket. I like it, but mine came with a little bit of some issues, so I've emailed the company, and it's the weekend obviously, but I will see their response soon, and hopefully they'll just bring it in and repair it and then send it back to me. But it works fine. I really enjoy it. It's a heavy phone, but yeah, we'll say that for the review. And then yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, my knife set. So I was thinking about doing just a short review on the, for you guys specifically who are following along with the YouTube channel and whatnot, for my friends and family who are interested in the tools that I use. Again, I apologize, I did not link everything in the description in the last videos. I had to figure out how to verify my account for that, but obviously I'm brand new at this. I'm not a professional whatsoever, but I wanted to do a short review on the tools that I'm using specifically, so that you guys, if you are looking to getting into this hobby, some tools that you can get to really get started. Obviously, the gloves are a necessary requirement when it comes to new carving, or you'll have scars like there's that scar that I was telling you guys about, where I sliced my finger. But yeah, so those are the ideas I had. Let me know down in the comments if you like them, or if you don't like them and you want me to do something completely different, or if you just want me to shut up and stop talking and just show me carving videos, because I enjoy that as well. So again, thank you for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends and the family, and all the friends and family that have stopped by. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I truly appreciate the time you've given me out of your day to watch my videos. So, thanks again, and hopefully you have a good day.